Hallelujah. Christ is risen. It's Easter, folks. It's Easter. Hallelujah. Christ is risen. The Lord is risen indeed. Hallelujah. I've been waiting for this day. I mean, 6 weeks I was fasting from saying hallelujah. Now we can say it and you all don't want to say it. He is indeed risen. And it is because of that event many years ago that you and I can experience life with the hope that this is not it. And thanks be to God that death is defeated. We can celebrate the resurrection because it gives us hope that when death comes, we will experience it because we go through death and it does not end our living. So Christ is alive, and because he lives, we will live and face life challenges, knowing that he goes with us every step of the way. And so this morning we have the story of Mary returning to the tomb. Mary makes her way back to the tomb early in the morning. John's Gospel tells us she goes back alone. Matthew, Mark, and the other Gospel writers have a group of women going to the tomb, including Mary. But in John's Gospel, it is Mary alone going to the tomb. John doesn't tell us what Mary is thinking as she is going to the tomb, but I can assure you this much. She knows the tomb is sealed. And she knows she will not be going into the tomb, but she's going probably to sit by the tomb and say some things to Jesus. And as she makes her way, she discovers something amazing. She gets there and the tomb is open. Who has done this? She looks in and something else has happened. The body is not there. She goes back and she tells the other disciples, and Peter and John, the disciples that Jesus loved, go to the tomb to prove that what Mary said is true. John doesn't tell us that why they're going to the tomb. They're going to the tomb to see whether what Mary is saying is true or Mary is just grieving and she has come and made something up. And so they make their way to the tomb. I don't know why John finds it important to tell us who ran more than the other, but never mind that. He tells us that Peter is left behind and John goes ahead. But when John gets to the tomb, he doesn't go in the tomb, he stays out. And when Peter comes, he goes right into the tomb and he inspects everything. He sees that it's empty. John comes in and both of them see it's empty. And you know what to do? They go home. Yeah, what else should we do? It's empty. So they go home. No, Mary is not done yet. She stays there. She stays there weeping because she had come, I will suggest to you, to remind herself that this friend of mine is not dead. And what I wanted to say to him, I didn't say to him. I'm going to sit here and hopefully have an opportunity to speak to him. But the tomb is empty, so where is he? So as she stands at the tomb weeping, she bends over and looks in again. Remember, the tomb is empty. This time when she looks in, there are two persons in there. Now I don't know about you, it's early in the morning, it's still probably dark, and I look in and I see two people. You can forget that tomb. I'm gone. I mean, they were not there before, and now they're there, and Mary is going to have a conversation with them. I find this interesting. Woman, why are you weeping? I'm weeping because my friend has been removed. And if you all know where they put him, please tell me, and I will go and take him. He's not here. And while she's having this conversation, someone else appears. And when she turns around, someone is standing there, and she mistakes him for the gardener. Sir, if you moved him, please tell me, so I can go and take him. And in that moment, something happens. Her name is called in a way that only the risen Christ can call her name. Her name is called in a way that speaks deep to her life and her heart. And when she hears that voice, she knows, my God, Rabboni, you are alive. Go and tell my brothers, I have not yet ascended to my Father, but I'm ascending to my Father and their Father. Don't hold on to me because I have not yet ascended. And Mary goes with that excitement. You and I, on many occasions in this place, gather for funeral services. Loved ones come from distant places and come, and we celebrate the life of the one that is lost. And when we are done, they depart to their various destinations. I do not know how often they return to visit the columbarium or the cemetery. But at some point, I know that some of them would return and visit the columbarium or the cemetery. When they do that, why are they returning? Is it because this is the place now that symbolizes the life of their loved one? Or do they return because they have unfinished business? I do not know why people return. If I return to the cemetery of my loved ones, I will have to go for a reason. To say something to them, or to just visit the grave as a reminder that this place now holds the remains of one who walked the face of the earth. When Mary returned to the tomb early that morning, she had a reason for going there. But when she got there, things had changed. I suspect if we had a funeral service and we went to the cemetery and committed the body to the ground, then everyone departed. And a few days later, one of the loved ones went to the grave and found it open and called the other relatives and said, they've taken him or her out of the grave. I suspect from wherever they are, they'll say, are you kidding? They've done what? Ask the folks at the cemetery. Would they, first of all, want to believe that, or would they think that this person is having a difficult time with their grief? What I'm suggesting to you is what Mary is experiencing when she goes and tells Peter and the rest of the disciples, and they come and check it out. Well, it's true. He's gone. They go back home. And then she comes back and says, he's alive. Now, tell me, what will you say? Yeah, right, Mary, he's alive. I went there, it was empty. No, he's alive. He's alive. I'm telling you the truth. He's alive. Boy, she's having a difficult time with her grief. Mary, the first witness of the resurrection, has to prove to others that he's alive before he shows up. People have to believe her. She's not making this up. He is alive. That was her struggle, to let them know that he's alive. For you and me, it's an old story. And so we know the end of the story. He is alive, and because he lives, you and I will face today, tomorrow, and then some, because he lives with us. And through the ups and downs and twists and turns of life, he goes with us. We are the only religion of the world that claims an empty tomb. He is no longer in the tomb. He now sits at the right hand of power, interceding for you and me. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. He pleads for us because he knows the path we travel. On this day of resurrection, as you and I celebrate once again the reminder of what happened many years ago, I encourage you not to only be reminded, but to live the experience. Go forth from this place as the witnesses of the good news. Go like Mary, shouting because he's alive. Go like Mary, and if no one believes you, forget them. Call out to all, he is alive. Go like Mary and let the world know that he lives. Let the world know that he lives. That's it for you and me, my brothers and sisters. That's it for us as the resurrected people. Let us go forth from this place, reminded of what was done for us, to live out that experience, for the world to see in and through us the risen Christ. Go, my brothers and sisters, and tell the world that he lives. Yes, and some people will not believe you, just like the disciples had to go to prove that the tomb was empty. On this day of resurrection, it is my prayer that God will grace us with his presence in such a way that we will no longer be the same. That we will not go forth from this place the way we came in this morning. We will go from here empowered by his Spirit's presence to tell the world that he is alive. And because he lives, we too shall live. He didn't say it will be easy. He didn't say we will not experience the rain and the sun, the ups and the downs, the twists and turns. We will experience all of those things. But know this much, he goes with us. He goes with us as the resurrected Christ. May we go forth, empowered by his Spirit, to serve the world in his name, so that others who do not yet know him may come to know him because of us. Hallelujah! Christ is alive. Thank you.